What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another Grand Slamming episode. Forex Beginner Podcast. Excited to be here today. It's your boy Calvin. Today we have a special guest in the building. Now, I am really excited about today's guest because this is going to be a great learning moment for every single trader that's watching right now, that's on this journey. You struggled a little bit. You're a little frustrated right now and you're wondering to yourself, is this real? Is this possible? Can I really change my life from trading? Especially if you are interested in the prop firm space. Today's guest not only became a full-time trader, was able to take his own capital, invest in himself, be able to become consistent and make money consistently trading, but he also failed and went through some obstacles and literally had to build himself back up through prop firm trading. Once he got his rhythm with prop firm trading, ladies and gentlemen, this guy literally got $100,000 payouts with multiple prop firms. We're talking over $500,000 in payouts, ladies and gentlemen. His story is remarkable. He literally had it, lost it, got it back, and has consistently been growing since then. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Josh in the building. What's up, Josh?
What's up?
How you doing, man?
Doing great.
How's that intro for you?
That was solid, man. That was crazy. Make me feel good, man.
Yeah. So as you heard me just
Appreciate
kind of summarize your journey,
Yeah.
what do you think about like when you hear like having it, like coming into trading, being consistent, trading your own capital at that, you know, and being consistent, living, you know, kind of that free lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
And then losing it, but then getting it back. Like when you hear that, like, does it give you chills still?
It does. It's been honestly, it's been kind of a crazy ride. It's been, but very enjoyable, very rewarding. I wouldn't change anything about it, you know, because I felt like it would change other things. But like, man, so much I've learned through it, you know, that I'm so grateful for. Overall, it's been amazing. I love trading. I love the industry. I love, you know, what I do. I love what I do. Like I just love trading. So yeah, it's been pretty wild. You know, I definitely am more of an extreme person, I would say, when it comes to taking risk. You know, I don't mind taking a lot of risk. You know, I'm definitely probably on the extreme on that side. So with that, you know, you definitely, you know, have a chance to kind of lose a lot, you know, and so I definitely have done that. So yeah.
So you've made like hundreds of thousands of dollars with multiple firms and prop firm payouts.
Yeah.
What time span was that? Like how long was that, over the course of a year, 2 years?
Yeah, so I initially got introduced to prop firms. I initially got introduced to FTMO. And so I got the, you know, like most people, most traders, they probably just like have like a beginner's luck, you know, with trading. And so I had that with FTMO. Like I got a payout, like I passed an account, I got a payout like within like the first like month or two of like trading with the prop firm. That one was like 3 years ago. I can't remember. It was probably like $5,000-$6,000. But
with
like
beginner's luck.
that was yeah.
Wow.
That was amazing back then, because I was like, that was the most I've ever, you know, seen trading. I was like, this can be a real thing. Like this is awesome, you know. Yeah. So since then I was like, I started, you know, trading more, and that's when I started losing on a prop firm and stuff like that. And then I went through a losing streak there. It was a crazy time period there for like a year and a half. I got into like a massive amount of debt, and it's still like I still actually, you know, talking about it is like, yeah, it's crazy. But like you know, I accumulated probably like, it was like right around like $200,000 worth of debt, no job, no nothing, and so like I was in a bad spot, you know, financially, but also just like mentally, you know, just like it was hard, you know, and so I, you know, just kept driving, kept trying, and I utilized prop firms to get myself out of it, which is an amazing story, testament to the prop firm industry, you know, and trading itself, you know. So yeah, I got out of debt completely within 1 month of trading with prop firms. Back when I got a job, I was like stable, I was like, all right, I can make my payments for all these loans that I had and stuff like that. And and yeah, so I got completely debt free after a month of trading with a prop firm.
After a month?
Yeah, it was crazy.
So how much did you make in that month? Like, was that like one of those 100K months?
Yeah.
Wow. So like
Nuts.
the total of like the bulk of the payouts, right? Just you in your stride, right? How, like, what time period was that when you're consistently bringing out these 5-figure, 6-figure payouts?
Yeah. So
What was that time period?
What was that time period? Yeah, it was like a year and a half ago.
Wow.
Like a year and a half ago. Yeah, close to like 2 years.
Wow.
So now, yeah.
That is phenomenal, man.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
Crazy.
So
when I had like that, I did about 300K from total prop firms in a month.
Are you serious?
300K, yeah, it was crazy. Plus personal, like after that, I just started doing more personal money because I put all that money in a personal account, and then the month after that, I just kept like, going crazy. So that month, I was only trading prop firms. I did 300K, and in a month from like 3 different prop firms.
Yeah.
And so, where was I going with that? But yeah, it was wild. Like that month, completely debt free, and at the time I was working like a job. Like I was, 40K salary a year job, like nothing crazy, And so I kept with that job for like another month while I was still trading and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a wild time. It was crazy.
So you just alluded to it, right? It's amazing what a simulated, virtual, fake, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's amazing what this business model can do for you, right?
Yeah.
Do you still believe that it's possible for a trader that can show consistency to really build a foundation for themselves, whether they want to use that for personal gain or if they want to take that and put that into a personal account? Like, do you still think the prop firm route is?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
100%. Yeah, because like I was telling you, like earlier, is I got out of the prop firm space shortly after that, just to trade personal account, just to make things simpler and easier and not dealing with multiple accounts and stuff. But after the FTMO, shut down and all that stuff going on, I was like, let me. I started working with prop firms and so I wanted to get exposure and see what the industry's like, and see what new stuff they're doing and stuff like that. So I got funded with a couple of prop firms recently, and yeah, got payouts, and stuff, and yeah, so it's amazing industry, and you can still do very, very well, so it's pretty amazing. So,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So walk us through this, right? You, like, essentially, you come into trading and you have some money, right? So your story is kind of different. Like, it's not like I'm coming to trading to try to find my breakthrough in life. You have some money, you sold a business, you come to trading, you start trading some of that money, right? Just talk to me about what that like journey is like in the beginning as you're trading your own money, you're making some money, and when did you hit that drawdown, that losing streak?
So it's a difficult transition. I think a lot of people don't expect the transition to be hard, to like leave a job and then go straight in and all you're doing is trading. It's a hard transition. And so, I had to do that because I own a business, I sold it and started trading my own personal money. And so you have the difficulty of trading full time, but also like, one thing that's nice about trading with prop firms is like they actually give you, like, you have to abide by the rules, and the rules are set up, to manage your risk, and so like if you're trading a personal account, you can risk 20, 30, 40, 50, 80% of the account, in one trade, and that's just not smart to do, to risk that much, but you can, and so like. It's honestly, in a way, a little bit easier to trade with a prop firm when you're transitioning, because the risk is mandatory to abide by,
I agree.
So,
Yeah. So when you were trading that money that you originally had when you first started, and you're trading your personal account, you were kind of over leveraging a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it's like when you're trading your personal accounts, it's like you you get in a trade and then you get a losing trade and it's like going against you and you're like, well, let me just hold it for a little bit longer, and then let me just hold it for a long because I think it's going to go up, and then you're already, next thing you know, you're down 20%, still holding the position. I was like, let me just hold it for a little bit longer, and then you're down like 50%, so it's like, you add 2 positions and stuff, so it's like easy to get into that wrong mindset and wrong way of trading, with the personal account. So, and that's what I ended up doing when I sold the business, when I started trading my personal account. And it's crazy because I had owned a business, sold it, trading personal account, and did decently well. And then I lost everything and got into a massive amount of debt. I was still, trading this roughly the same strategy. I changed a few things, but roughly trading the same strategy. But it was all just mental, mental. I just kept failing, and like just not managing the mental side of things, And so, yeah, it's interesting. So that's why I'm like very curious and very. I study a lot on like human behavior and psychology, and that stuff really interests me just because it has such a massive effect on like what humans do and what we do, So
yeah,
it's cool.
So what was the time period between you starting to trade your own money and then you starting to fail at trading your own money? Like, what was that time period? Like, how long did you last until you said, you know what, I'm tapped out. Like, this ain't working.
Yeah. It was about like 3 months. I lasted for about 3 months. And I was I think I was telling you, it was like I was a little bit more swing trading back then. And so, swing trading, you can last a little bit longer when you're swing trading, when you're intraday or something like that, you can make more, you can make money faster, but you can also lose it faster. So.
Yeah. Okay. So 3 months and you're just like, this ain't working, right?
Yeah.
So during that period, how far in the hole are you in terms of your capital?
Wait, say that again. So like 3 months and then.
So during that 3 month period of you trading your capital and just obviously it's not working.
Yeah.
How deep in drawdown are you? Like how negative is your account at that time?
Yeah. So I did well. I did like probably the losing period happened very, very quick. Like I lost all the money in the account within like less than a month.
So first 2 months was pretty good.
First 2 months I would like, I close to like double the account in like 2 months.
And then it was that last month that things just kind of went.
Yeah.
And were you able to kind of figure out what it was? Because you were doing the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what happened? Like, do you know?
It was all just mental, just psychology. Just like, I just like, you get in your head, like you really get like in a tunnel vision, I would say, and you get hyper focused on, and you're like too emotional when you're like, oh, it's going against me. I'm going to close out. And then like, oh, I was right. Let me get back in. And then it's actually going down now. And like, you should have gotten a buy. And it's like, then you start just like mixing stuff up and it's just like, your mind's all over the place, and then you're wanting to double down, and then you like, I gotta stay up all night now, and I gotta get this money back, And so it's like this, you can just get down, and I had no idea how to deal with that, and the first time experiencing that, rabbit trail of just like losing, and just like confusion and just, which, hopefully no one experiences it that extreme like I have, but like I'm sure other traders have experienced that,
So at this time, is this like your only source of income?
Yeah.
At this time? Wow.
Yeah.
So you're sitting on this money that you just got from selling a business, right? And you're anticipating that, I'm gonna trade, grow this money, and just figure out life, as it comes, right?
Yeah.
You do great the first 2 months. Obviously, I know you're feeling yourself, right?
Yeah.
As we all, as we start making money, we're like, we're the king of the world, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Everybody should be doing this, right? And so
Exactly.
then you get to this point, this last month, this third month, where it just goes to the ground, right? So at this point, you got to go back to work.
Yeah.
You got to find a job.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So talk to me about that.
Yeah. So like as I was losing, I was like picking up some like side jobs a little bit. I started like doing a couple businesses. I took out some loans and stuff like that.
You felt it coming.
I felt it coming. So I was like, I'm gonna take out some loans and like do some stuff. And so, yeah, and that got me even further into debt and stuff like that. And so, yeah, at the end of it, I was, I owed close to $200,000 in debt to different credit unions and banks and stuff like that. And so, yeah, it was wild. So like I was like, well, let me just take a break from trading just for a couple months or something like that, and get a stable job, get feet under me, and just like get that situated, and then I'll come back to trading in a couple months or whatever. So that's what I did. I got a job, and I was in and out of that job within 6 months, 8 months.
This is really encouraging, Josh.
Yeah.
Because there are traders watching this, just like myself, that you reach that moment, and like for them, it may not be going 200K in the hole, but for them, it's a number significant to their life and their situation.
Yeah.
And we hit those moments sometimes where it's like, man, is this ever going to work? But hearing your outline to be back in 6 months, that is amazing, man.
Yeah.
That is amazing. So let's talk about what you did to mentally get yourself back focused. You did mention that you were pretty much trading the same strategy once you kind of got back to trading, and this time you're using prop firms instead of your own money. So walk us through, what were the self-talks you were having with yourself before you decided, okay, I'm gonna get back into this and try it again?
Yeah. So I'm still kind of perfecting on that, and still learning on top of what I've learned, and stuff. So, yeah, I think, when I spoke at the FX Summit, this is the main thing that I was talking about is like the self-talk that you're having. I'm a big proponent of like affirmations and like, what you feed your mind and stuff like that. Like I feel like a common thing you hear in the self-help realm is stand guard at the door of your mind, and really be cautious of what is coming in, but also what the internal dialogue is, But the more I'm like experimenting and learning about it is like something I've realized recently is like, do you have like affirmations you kind of do and things like that, or?
I am very like biblical, like grounded.
Good,
a lot of the things I speak over myself are like Bible verses that I just like live by.
Cool. Yeah. So like one thing that I've like realized is like, everyone talks about doing affirmations and stuff, but like you still like, let's say you just have like this deep down thought that like you can't achieve something, but you say in affirmations, you're still believing that like, no, I still don't believe it. I still don't believe it. And what I've found out is like there's 3 submodalities that humans like learn and take in information, which I'm sure you've heard of, is like auditory, visual, and then like kinesthetic, which is like a feeling, like emotion. And so auditory, like hearing, visual, seeing, and so like the affirmations is the auditory, you're hearing yourself saying it, stuff like that. I am more, so it's all dependent on like what type of person you are, so like visual, I'm a very visual person. So what gets me motivated and to see it come to life is when I am seeing it happen, when I'm actually doing the act of being a successful person, not saying it. I feel the effect more whenever I am seeing myself do the actions, or when I'm seeing someone else do the actions. I'm a very visual person, but some people are auditory, where they're like, if they're hearing themselves say it over and over again, like they can, so this is something interesting that I've like, kind of thought about and learned about recently is those 3, and kinesthetic is like, is feeling it, like feeling gratitude, celebrating with other people, that kind of thing. So
that's really good.
Yeah.
So you get to the point where you're now embarking on this prop firm journey, right?
Yeah.
You've had residue in this area before because you mentioned that you had tried it before and you had that beginner's luck and then you failed a few challenges.
Yeah.
So you're coming back to this space now and now you are using this strategy that you have, kind of fine-tuned, right?
Yeah.
And now you're making money with these prop firms now. What's going through your mind? Like, are you feeling like I'm back, or are you trying not to get too high because you don't want the mistakes to happen again?
Yeah.
What is that process like?
Yeah, I know, right? You get in that euphoria state,
that
right?
euphoria,
Yeah. It's like a balance. You gotta like manage like the highs and lows. You gotta manage the loss and you gotta manage the euphoria. So like making that much money. It was very weird, like very bizarre, like going from completely broke to, making, over 300K in a month was just mind blowing, and so dealing with that, it definitely was strange, and that's what's cool is like, the more and more exposure you get to trading and the more you're doing it is like what you realize is you really have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You have to be okay with being in uncomfortable situations, because like you enter a trade, you have to be okay with the risk. You have to be okay with, it's uncomfortable. You're at a chance of losing money, and so like, over the years, like I've tried to be any situation I'm put in, I'm comfortable and I know that I'm going to be okay. You know what I mean? So getting yourself in that state and getting good at that, of being uncomfortable in comfortable situations, it's like, it's a skill to kind of like develop, and it's not a whole lot of people talk about it. I don't know, there's no real path to, you just kind of have to like discover it on your own and like get good at it, it's and a lot of things, when it comes to success is reframing, things. So like reframing things that happen to you, I focus a lot on this, is like reframing and saying the right things, because like, that right there, what I just said is a reframing, and basically where I am comfortable in uncomfortable situations. I know that I'm, so it's like reframing, so I don't know if that helps or not, but
yeah. Okay, so talk to me about how you trade in the market. So we had a brief discussion and you kind of said, like, for the most part, you're self-taught in trading, right?
Yeah.
Like you've seen some things, or you've looked at some certain styles of trading, and you've had some exposure to some people that kind of traded professionally, hedge fund traders, and you just kind of just started your research, started looking at some things.
Yeah.
So talk to us, like, what style of trader are you? Are you a scalper? Are you an intraday? Are you a swing trader right now?
Yeah, I'm an intraday trader.
Okay.
I utilize the volume profile indicator. And
what is that?
So it's basically looking at order flow. So I look at order flow, I look at volume, and most volume indicators, what you see is like the volume at the bottom, But what I'm doing, I'm looking at the volume on its side. So like at let's say the volume picks up here, but it actually less volume here. There's more volume here. There's less volume there. So you're looking at where the high and low volumes are, at what price. And I'm trading based off of that. So I developed like a strategy around that. So
okay,
but yeah, it's a whole theory that I've like kind of developed that that I've kind of stolen from the guys that I met in New York, whatever that I mentioned, because I lived in New York for a period of time and met a few hedge fund owners, and just hearing what they're saying, what they're talking about, and how they trade, And so, I kind of used their ideas a little bit and then just kind of formulated my own strategy around the theory. So.
Okay. So essentially, when you come to the charts, you're looking at a particular market. So are you focused on one particular market or a basket of different instruments first?
Yeah.
Let's start there.
Yeah, no, I look at one currency pair. All I trade is Australian dollar, US dollar.
You trade AU and AU only.
Yeah, yeah.
You made over $500,000 with
Yeah.
prop firms trading AU.
Yep. Yeah.
Get out of here, bro.
Yeah, seriously, yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. All the money I made from prop firms, all been AU.
Really?
I haven't traded one other
Does
thing.
Q know that? Does Q Banks know that?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I was talking about, I don't know.
Yeah, because Q told me that was his starter pair. You know, it's too slow for him now.
Yeah.
So you made $500K, over $500K,
Yeah.
trading AU.
AU, yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And most people are using like US 30 and stuff like that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But-
Yo, you got me excited right
Yeah.
now. All right,
Yeah.
so let's dig into this. Okay, so, okay, you come to the charts. You're looking at your AU. What is your process? Like, are you searching for volume and then you're matching that with some type of technical strategy? What are you doing? Like, break that down to me.
Yeah, so I look for, so if you're looking at the volume profile indicator, there is a line that they call the POC, or point of control, which is the highest volume area. And so what it basically is telling you is like, that line is attracting price. Price always comes back to the POC. It always comes back eventually to the highest volume area. And so if you use that idea and wait for momentum to change that it's going back to that area, then that's your kind of entry, you know?
So are you, okay.
You follow?
Yeah. So you're essentially doing what some like traders will look for, let's say for example, like a stock trader, right? So shout out to Huddy, Dom, and man, I almost forgot my guy's name, Cal, right?
Yeah.
So these are some stock traders that I just interviewed. These are great
Nice.
guys, right?
Yeah.
And so Cal specifically, how he approaches the market is he looks for stocks that are kind of overextended, right?
Okay.
And once they overextend, he knows that, okay, this has to come back at some point, right? And then once he sees like a first red day signal or something like that, he'll short that stock, right?
Gotcha.
So is that kind of what you're doing, but from a volume perspective?
Yep. Yeah, it's very similar. Yeah, very similar.
Talk to me.
And it's probably on a smaller time frame. Like I'm entering on like the 15 or 30 minute time frame. So that's mainly what I look at, 15, 30 minute time frame. And so you're wanting to look at low volume areas and high volume areas where those are, and trade as price is going back to the high volume areas, because you know price is being attracted to high volume areas. So if you think about it, when like any kind of product or anything that's selling, you know, like maybe an iPhone or something like that, like, you know, if it's selling on the market, it's like, you know, there's more people buying it, okay, price is going up, you know, but if no one's really selling, price is going down. But there's always like a medium, you know, price is going to come back to, that's like the base price, you know?
Yeah.
And so if you think about it, like that's the highest volume traded phone price, you know? So the same thing with the market, you know, when you're trading the market is price is going to come back to the highest volume area. And so you just wait for momentum to change directions to the POC, and same thing if the price is going down, you just wait for momentum change to trade to the POC. So
this is really interesting.
Yeah.
This is really, really interesting. Okay, so on average, how many pips is one of those type of movements averaging?
So yeah, with the strategy, I mean, you're getting majority of the move for the day. I mean, because you're getting like good entries because you just wait for, like I use like a specific like momentum change indicator, and it's letting me know whenever the momentum changes relatively soon, like very very quick, and so I get good entries, and I just, you know, the momentum's changing, and it's usually price like flies through the POC because it's like just volume, so you're getting
so
the
it's
whole move.
slapping your TP.
Yeah.
Like literally knocking it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me this. In order for you to engage in that entry, right? So your indicator is showing you, hey, this slower momentum is starting to shift, right? Does price have to be at a key level of supply, demand, support, resistance before you make that move?
I actually don't even look at support resist or anything like
Really?
that. I literally don't.
So you're just watching your volume indicator?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, there's more advanced like I've gone mad into research of like other strategies around order flow and stuff like that. Like you can get like a heat map. I don't know if you know like a heat map or like book map or like I have book map, and you can actually see actually bubbles popping in where you're actually seeing the orders, like big order come in, and you're seeing the different lows. You can get very advanced when it comes to watching order flow. But I developed a very simple strategy, that's like easy to follow. And I feel like that's one of the key things whenever you're trying to develop a strategy is to keep it simple, keep it so that you're not distracted by all this stuff that, because if you think about it, like anytime you're trying to add indicator on indicator on indicator, what really you're trying to do is trying to minimize the risk, kind of. You're like, you don't have trust in your strategy, so you're adding more to it, and by adding more to it, you can get distracted and maybe an indicator is now showing a buy, but I still want to sell, and then you're like, oh, I should have bought, and then it's like, the more you add can make a big change and a wrong change, to your
It's like
strategy,
trying to
your
find
trade.
certainty in a market where everything's
Yeah,
uncertain, right?
It's not certain. Yeah, exactly. So,
That's crazy. Yo, your approach is really interesting, man.
Yeah, it's
and I'm
unique,
sure somebody's watching right now and they're like, yo, Calvin, this is next level right here.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. Now, okay, so why was AU so attractive to you?
Yeah, so a couple reasons. When I first started trading, I was trading for, it's one of the least expensive currency pairs.
That's true.
So you can buy more.
And spread is super tight,
Yep.
like super low.
Yeah, exactly. So you buy more, and and what I found is like it flowed nicely. It's consistent. It's not like, I don't know, like a pair where it's just like doesn't move and then a drastic move, and so I can get a trade every day pretty much.
Josh, are you pulling my leg, man? Are you truly only trading AU?
Only AU. Yeah.
Bro, this is unbelievable.
Only AU. Yeah.
Wow.
So.
This is awesome, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, so
there were a few other like 2-3 years ago I messed around with a few other pairs, but one thing I liked, oil. I like the idea of trading like oil or trading US 30 because you're in and out. Like you're only trading New York session. That's like when it moves, I like that idea, but I don't know, something about AU. I just like it. I like the way it looks. I like the way it moves.
So how many setups are you seeing? Like if you have to look at your history or if you have to look at your journal, how many setups are you averaging per month?
Per month
on AU?
I'm getting a trade pretty much every day.
Are you serious, bro?
Yeah. Like I'm getting pretty much every move, like that's what's nice about trading order flow. I mean, you're with order flow, when you're looking at volume and stuff like that, you get so in tune and you get such a good idea of what's going on in the market that you can capitalize on every move pretty much.
What are your trading times?
Trading times?
Yeah. I'm excited. It's like when you answer one question, I got another question. This is exciting. Yeah. So what are your trading times?
So pretty uncommon, but I do like to trade Asia session.
Really?
Probably more than...
you got AUD in there. Okay.
More
gotcha.
than... but a lot of it comes down to like the psychology part of it and stuff like that. And because like the way I approach it is like, if I have it, if I wake up, have a great day, trading is just like the cherry on top. It's like if you treat trading that way, it's way more fulfilling. It's way better. You're not stressed about it. But if you treat it as like, I'm waking up, I got to trade, I got to make money from the market, most of the time you're going to be overly ambitious. You're going to be overly, trying to make money, and you're not going to do well, And so like, what I found is if you're trading, at night, you can be a little bit more nonchalant and trade better, and have a better mindset doing it. So that's part of the reason, why I trade, at night. So
that is crazy.
Yeah.
And then it's like that fulfillment of like, yo, I already got my work done. I can go to sleep, on cloud nine, and I can wake up, and it's like, I can worry about me. I can go to the gym. I can run some errands. I can go hang out with some people. I can do some business stuff. Wow. Okay. This is really, really cool, right? Okay. So pretty much the only indicator you're using on your chart is the volume indicator, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. As far
volume and momentum indicator.
Okay. So volume and momentum indicator. Mm-hmm. Are you using the Japanese candlesticks, like the traditional candlesticks?
Yes.
Okay. So using the traditional candlesticks. You're primarily looking at the 30-minute chart, you said?
Yep. Yeah, 15, 30 minute.
Okay, so
Mainly
15, 30. Okay.
Yep.
Mainly 30 minute. Like, on average, how long are you in a trade, like holding a trade?
Yeah, I'm in a trade for maybe 4, 6, 8 hours. Yeah.
Wow. So you're really getting the full move of the day.
Yeah.
Or the session, rather.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm holding positions like most of the time longer than a session. Sometimes longer than a session. So I get like the full movement,
Okay.
So.
But you close out your trades by the end of the trading day.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Okay. From a risk standpoint, right? Mm-hmm. How are you managing your risk when you take these trades? So let's say you're doing a prop firm challenge, like when you were doing that 300K in a month.
Yeah.
Like, what was your risk looking like during that time?
Yeah. So in the beginning, I would risk, the generic 1% a trade. But once I got in profit, I started risking more and risking more.
When you say more, how much are we talking, Josh?
So like, once I had a decent cushion, I was risking like 3-4% a trade.
Wow.
Because I was like, I think when you're on a roll, and consistent, you have more confidence. You can get in a trade, and you're just like on your game, and you kind of get into a flow state.
Trading in the zone. Mark Douglas, there we go. You're in that zone.
Yeah. And so, really like that's what I did, and that's what I try to do is like, once I'm in that zone, once I get that cushion, once I'm in the zone, I start risking, 2, 3, 4%.
So for you to do like that 300K in a month with the prop firms, right? Yeah. Like, were you doing a trade copier at that time?
Yeah.
Okay,
copier.
Gotcha.
Yep. It ended up being like, I think it ended up being like 28% profit in that month. Wow. Like 28, 29% profit in the month. On the prop firms, because
what size were those?
Those accounts were about like 400K
each.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's really good, man.
I think it was 400K each. So I had 3 400K each. Yeah.
So how much money do you think you've invested in prop firm challenges? Like, if you just had to throw out a ballpark number.
I would love to look up the number, man. I don't know. In the beginning, man, I gave FTMO so much money. In the beginning, I gave them so much money. But I would love to look at the number. I don't know, actually. I mean, it's definitely 5 figures.
5-figure number, yeah. Hey, but look at the return. You know what I mean? Look at the return.
Yeah, exactly.
Over $250,000, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's pretty dope, man.
Yeah.
Okay, I love it. So now, okay, you've accomplished that. You've proven to yourself that you can be consistent. You can be a trader that's profitable. One of the biggest discussions right now that we're having in the space is, can you truly be profitable as a Forex trader over the long term? Mm-hmm. Okay?
Yeah.
You've obviously been able to do that. Like, how long have you been consistent?
Consistent for, a good like 2.5, 3 years.
Okay, perfect. And now, like, trading it's pretty much the bulk sum of your income right now.
Yeah. Full income for the past.
Full income.
Full income for the
Straight
past
up.
year. Just recently, I started doing some other things.
Perfect.
Because I love trading. I've always, I just love it. And so like, that's why, like if you go to my profile or something like that, like I don't actually sell anything at all.
You
I
don't?
don't.
Yep.
I don't have a course. I don't have mentorship, anything. I've done some mentorship here and there to, select few or whatever, but I don't sell anything. I don't promote it. And so I haven't really focused on social media in general because I never really had a purpose or a reason to, because I've just been trading. So
This is perfect.
Yeah.
This is perfect for this conversation.
Yeah.
So how are you finding this consistency? Because this is the thing, and throughout the Forex space, this is the conversation that's being had right now, right? A lot of people are switching to futures because they can't find consistency in Forex, or they've lost so much in Forex. It's now people switching over to the stocks and options play because of not finding consistency in Forex.
Yeah.
How have you been able to find and maintain this consistency?
Yeah.
And you're trading one pair, probably the most famous Forex pair, AU, right?
Yeah.
So how have you done this, man?
Yeah. To be honest, and to be blunt, like if you're switching over to other things, it's not because the other will be better. It's just because you haven't developed the skill. It's the same thing when you go to Forex to stocks it's the same skill. So really it comes down to, I think, really just having a strategy and then just figuring out yourself, figuring out your mastering your psychology, mastering yourself, mastering your mindset and stuff like that. If you it's a funny thing, if you look back at the first self-help advice that was given to mankind, if you look back, it's like 2000 BC. And it says, know thyself. That's the first recorded self-help, is know thyself, which is pretty wild. So it's like, I feel like that is such a key thing to focus on is know yourself. You can, and it's like know yourself is the first part, but then you actually have to follow yourself.
That's so true.
And so like know yourself is key. And it's it's a hard thing. It's a difficult thing. A lot of people just are distracted by so much, but I feel like that's very important to really master, and so yeah, it's.
But you don't think it has anything to do with the market? It has nothing to do with the market.
Nah, I mean, what do they say? Like, trading is what's the percentage? They say it's like 90% psychology. Don't they say that? I think it's like a very common statistic. It's like, I think it's written in many books. It's like trading is 90% psychology and 10% chart. So it's very important, but a lot of people don't focus on it.
So true.
And so, yeah.
And you don't subscribe to that.
No.
That whole thing that it's a Forex thing and there's no consistency there. You don't subscribe to that.
No. No. It's the Forex space. Like it's interesting because like the Forex space is traded by our level of traders, and then it's also traded by the banks, hedge funds, the billionaires, and so of course it's not, it's like the most traded, like $6-7 trillion is traded on it,
Yeah, the most liquid
and it's
market.
weird. It's like the stock trading and stuff like that is like kind of the middle ground. It's like that's more, it's like I feel like that's like the middle ground between like the us traders and then like the hedge funds, banks. I don't know. It's interesting, but yeah, definitely, know yourself and the psychology of it is super important. It's super important, and and figuring out what you're doing wrong. And I feel like if you boil down, this is interesting. I heard this recently. Is like if you boil down what is causing, because this is what you need to figure out, like about yourself, is like what are you not good at? What are you not doing well? And if you boil it down, there's really only 3 things that keep you from success. And the first is like IQ, like low IQ, which like such a small percentage of people, you know, are in that realm of low IQ. You know, it's like we're all, you know, don't have that problem. The second is like laziness, and the third is arrogance. And those are the only reasons for not succeeding. Those are kind of like blunt, you know, pretty, you know, harsh words, but like, you know, laziness is you know, you know, it's there's so much. I think like with laziness, you need to figure out what your motivation is, what your why is.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that's God given. You know, it's like that you figure out your why. It's not something you choose. It's given to you, which is awesome. And that's what keeps you motivated. And you know that's to stay. You know, humans have have something that I saw is like humans have 4 motivators, 4 M's, and it's like you know, you have material, mating, movement, and mastery. And so, you know, figuring out, you know, knowing thyself, figuring out what motivates you to, you know, to keep motivated and keep pursuing, to stay out of that laziness, you know, and figuring out which one of those are. And, you know, movement is freedom, you know, mastery. I fall into mastery. You know, I want to be like the best, and that's what I strive for. So that's what really motivates me. So I don't know if you relate to that or what kind of you fall into, but it's pretty interesting to kind of like figure out that for yourself so that you can kind of like know where, you know, to focus your energy on, you know. But also like, you know, like when it comes to laziness, like there's also a lot of things you can do like with like biohacking and like, you know, I feel like today as humans, like, you know, Americans, like our hormones are all messed up. We're eating bad food and stuff like that. It messes up. You know, we were talking about 10X.
Yeah,
like,
that's a good point.
Man, like that is like super important. I put a lot of focus into like eating the right things and you know, there's a lot of things you can do. You know, cold plunge. I do cold plunge a lot just to like
Really
boost that, you know, that dopamine and energy and stuff like that. It really helps me to like perform well and be on point and stuff like that. But then, you know, laziness, arrogance is like such a tricky thing. You know, I don't know if you've listened to Your Wish Is Your Command. It's a really good talk. It talks about like the it talks about this is like the it's like this what is it? How does it go? I don't know. It definitely look into Your Wish Is Your Command. It talks about the arrogance. And it's funny. Like Socrates has a it's a funny story about this. Like Socrates apparently he no it was Caesar would go around town and have like, you know, everyone would like praise him and come up to him and praise him, and he hired someone to basically just walk with him whenever he walked through the city, and anytime he got praise or anything like that, his only job was to tell him to, you know, to tell Caesar, you're only human, to whisper it in his ear, you're only human, you know, to keep him grounded, to keep his balance, you know. And so that's what it is, like keeping your balance, you know, and because when you're arrogant, you're not learning, and you gotta learn, you gotta like figure it out, and you know, so that's you know,
that's
interesting
good, man.
talking points there, but yeah.
So another question: you have no regard for fundamental news when you're trading at all, do you?
Yeah, fundamental news, no. Yeah, I mean, I look at when news events are happening, you know.
Do you avoid trades when they're coming out?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If they're real big news events like NFP and stuff like that, like I mainly stay out of those.
So you didn't trade today?
I didn't trade today. I mean, like honestly, like if I, like my strategy worked. Like if I did enter when I should have entered, it would have worked fine. And I would have made money, but I'd rather stay a little bit safer on news events, stuff like that. Gotcha. I mean, from what I found is like news events, they move in the direction of my strategy, but they just get you to the point way faster, you know? And so, that's what I
That's a
found.
good way to put it.
Yeah.
So another question about your approach, your strategy, right?
Yeah.
Once you see that volume indicator starting to work its way back down, right, to
Yeah.
that center point or that starting point,
Yeah.
is there a specific candlestick pattern you're looking to confirm first, or you're just jumping in?
Yeah, just when momentum changes. I mean, I look for like a good sign is like, some like strong wicks, when it's like struggling to go any further and about to change directions, for entry and exits, that's kind of what I look for.
Okay.
So just like wicks, when it's having a hard time going further in that direction. So, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
What words of encouragement, man, before we get out of here? This has been fantastic, by the way. Like,
Yeah.
this
Cool.
has been really, it's different in the sense that, like, you are so calm
Yeah.
and your results are so massive, right?
Yeah.
And your approach is so simplistic at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's like all the discussions that we have around trading, you gotta know fundamentals and no, you gotta be technical, and then the whole you gotta have a trading time. It's like your approach is so different and so simplistic, but yet you have these massive results. You know what I mean? To back your case. And so this is very, very interesting conversation. But
why make it complicated? Why make it complicated? Just make it simple, make it easy, easy to follow, so you're organized and So yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
What words of advice would you give right now to a trader? My audience is essentially me, right?
Yeah.
They are excited about this skill set. They're excited about the opportunities that trading in the largest financial market, the Forex market, brings. But we're still developing. We're still growing. Some of us are at the very beginning stages, right?
Mm-hmm.
What type of encouragement would you give as we go through this journey?
Oh man, encouragement. I would just encourage you guys. I've just recently, like within the past year, felt a calling to just like provide as much like education as I can. I felt a calling just like wanting to like make an impact. Because I've been through a lot. Within the trading space, I've learned a lot, and I have a lot of knowledge to give. And so like I want to make an impact. But what I'd say is like and that's why I'm super excited about like Top Tier Academy, what I'm working on, because that's my way of giving massive amount of information. So I really look forward to that. But believe in yourself. Believe that you can do it. Because it is possible. It is possible. I'm nothing special. I'm nothing special. Neither is any other traders. It's not like they have, some special skill they've been born into, some have, but it's like, you don't need that to succeed, You just need the right knowledge, you need the right information, you need the right mindset, And so if you get that right, main thing being the right mindset, then you're good, so.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Josh, let us know before we get out of here where we can follow you, what we can find more about you and what you got going on, and maybe pick some more nuggets from you, whatever you care to share on your social media. So just look in the camera and let us know where we can follow you, man.
Follow me on Instagram. Currently my is at @the_Josh Lee, but currently it is in the works of changing to Josh Barnes. So just look me up on Instagram. I'm mainly active on there, and so hit me up with any messages, questions you have. So I don't have any Discord or anything like that. Like I mentioned, like just strictly Instagram. I don't sell anything, but just hit me up with questions you have. So
love it, man.
Yeah.
And what can we look forward to, like seeing from you outside of trading? Like, is there anything outside of trading that you're looking into?
Yeah, I'm working on a lot of things. Like I mentioned, I'm working on Top Tier Academy. I'm going to be the president of the Top Tier Academy, or I am the president of Top Tier Academy. So we're going to be launching that in August, which is going to be really, really cool. It's going to be completely free academy that we've been putting a ton of work into and bringing in a lot of educators and just a lot of knowledge. So it's been been a big project, but be looking out for Top Tier Academy in August. And I'm also coming out with a book that's going to be very, very cool. The book is going to be on trading intuition, which would be really cool.
I like that.
And then I also am getting a indicator developed.
Yep.
It's going to be very, very detailed, very advanced indicator.
Based off volume, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
AI is involved. Like, I mean, it's going to be very. I have an ex-Lux Algo developer working on it, and so it's going to be. I'll have it finished here in the next couple of weeks. We've been working on it for a while, but it'll be finished here soon. I've been testing it and then launching it soon. So.
No. Hey, so can we make an agreement right here in front of everybody that once you get it up and going, that I'll bring you on the YouTube channel. We'll probably like zoom in and you can give us a walkthrough of the indicator.
Sure. Definitely, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Definitely.
All right, guys. So we got it. Listen, you heard that. He's gonna walk us through this thing once.
Sure thing.
Once it's developed. I like it, man.
Cool.
Josh, man, thank you for your time,
Definitely.
man.
Thank you.
This has been really refreshing, right? And if you're watching right now, just like every trader and every success story is different and everybody has their own approach. And I just really hope that this episode showed you that you can, anything you find that works, you can use anything. It doesn't matter how simple, how simplistic, how easygoing it is. You can use anything if you just stay focused and stick to it. And as Josh alluded to multiple times, just work on you, work on your mindset, work on your belief. Anything is possible for us. So, hey, this has been another Grand Slamming episode. It's your boy Calvin here, Forex Beginner Podcast. As always, I look forward to running into you at the bank one day, but you cannot meet me there. You got to beat me there. When me and Josh pull up to the bank, you should already be walking out with a big smile on your face, and that's our way of saying I believe we all are going to be successful. Till next time, God bless you. Take care, and we'll holler at you later. Peace. Traders, it's your boy Calvin here. Listen, I hope you enjoyed this interview. I hope it empowered you. I hope it motivated you on your trading journey. I just believe that we can make it. We can become consistently profitable traders. But number one, this is what I learned. You got to have one setup. You got to define one setup. And this one setup is the setup that you're looking for every single time you come into the market. All right. Number two, you got to manage risk the right way. 1% risk max is what I recommend. If you do this, each and every time I'm only going to lose this amount. So there's no surprises and you're not overly invested into one particular trade. Number three, you got to be patient. You got to allow that one setup, the criteria of that one setup, you got to allow that to come to you. And once those things come to you, you're checking everything off your checklist, you enter that trade. I just truly believe it's possible for us to be successful in this market, but we got to be patient. We got to have one setup and we got to manage risk the right way. Now, you may be somebody on your journey that says, Calvin, listen, I'm doing all these things, but I don't have much capital, right? I need more capital to make money. Well, then if that's you, maybe you need to look into Forex prop firms. And when we talk about Forex prop firms, check out Blue Guardian. What I love about Blue Guardian is they have no restrictions on their trading. You can hold over the weekend. You can trade during news. And most importantly, y'all, they have this tool called the Guardian Protector. The Guardian Protector is allowing traders like you and I to protect ourselves against ourselves. So when you feel like over leveraging, when you feel like over trading, right? When you feel like adding on more risk, the Guardian Protector allows you, before you even get into a trade, to go into the back office and you can set daily percentage levels or daily dollar amount levels where your account cannot go beneath. And if it does, they will automatically take you out of the trade, which will allow you to be able to live to trade another day and not violate your challenge account using your daily drawdown. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for a prop firm that will give you all of these benefits, plus you get an 85% payout rate once you get funded, and you get paid every 2 weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, check out Blue Guardian. And guess what? Today, we're going to give you 15% off on your next challenge using coupon code NEWTRADER, the number one. That's right. You get 15% off your next challenge using coupon code NEWTRADER, the number one. Ladies and gentlemen, I look forward to running into you at the bank one day, but you cannot meet me there. You got to beat me there. When Calvin pulls up to that bank, you should already be walking out, duffel bag on your shoulder, big smile on your face. And that's my way of saying I believe we all are going to be successful. And before we get out of here, make sure you hit that red subscribe button so you never miss another video, another interview of motivation. Holla at you later. Peace.